Hello guys, welcome back to my After Effects tutorial channel. This is Rhandz from Rhandz and in this tutorial we will be creating this. Let me begin by creating a new composition and I will name it placeholder 1. I want it 4K, 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second and 8 seconds duration. Click OK. I will go open my folder assets, go to photos and drop this image down into the timeline. Press S on the keyboard for the scale. I will scale it down. Then go back to the project panel and open this image. Drag this image down here to create a composition. Then I will go to composition and create a new composition. I will name it frame image. This time I will change the width to 1920 by 1080p. 30 frames per second and 8 seconds duration. Click OK. I will drop the placeholder into the timeline, then press S on my keyboard, change this value to 50%. Then go back to the project panel and drop down this frame into the timeline. Now I'm gonna go to folder assets, open this pre-rendered balls. I will highlight it all, drag it down here to create a composition. Make sure that these multiple compositions is checked and click OK. Now I will create a new folder and I will name it pre-rendered comps. I will highlight these compositions and drag it on that folder. Go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it upper text 1. I will change the width here to 1500 and the height to 400. The same frame rate, 30, 8 seconds duration. Click OK. Turn on the title action save here. Go to text tool and type a Christmas slideshow. Then center it. Highlight this layer and press P on my keyboard for the position. I'll just drag it up a bit like that. Go to assets, open it up, open this folder image, drop down this Christmas thing into the timeline. Press S on your keyboard for the scale. Change the scale value here to 10%. Highlight the layer, press P on your keyboard for the position and drag it down. This font here is Christmas in Finland, 200 pixels. Expand this layer and go to animate. Choose this opacity. Click this tiny icon. Go to property and choose this blur. Change the value on the blur to 20% and then the opacity, change this to 0. Then go open the range selector one. Create a keyframe by hitting the start. Move your playhead to 2 seconds. Change the value on the start to 100%. Go to layer, create a new adjustment layer. Go to effects and preset, go to generate, add gradient ramp. Change the color here to 514410. Click OK. And type the code in here to FBC 404. Then click OK. Then go to effects and preset, go to generate and add CC light sweep. move this CC light sweep on this side. Then make sure that your playhead is at the beginning and create a keyframe on the center. Move your playhead to the 3 seconds duration and move this core point on the other side like that. So now I will go to the effects and preset. I will add perspective bevel alpha. I'll just change this edge thickness to 1. So I think that should be good enough. All I have to do is to go back to my project panel. I will duplicate this upper text. Rename this lower text. Then I will highlight it and double click my mouse to open it up. I will highlight this Christmas Slideshow. I will change the text here to 100. Adjust the spacing. I will change this to 69. Then I will double click my mouse here. Then change the text to "The Magic of Christmas Never Ends." Highlight this text, press P on my keyboard for the position. I will just drag it up a bit. Go to align and center it. Now go to composition, create a new composition. I will limit media 1, 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second and 8 seconds duration. Click OK. Then go to your project panel and drop down this frame image into the timeline. Go back again to the project panel and drop down this Christmas ball into the timeline just above the frame image and highlight it all. Toggle switch modes in here. Enable the 3D layers. Then press P on your keyboard for the position. Then randomly arrange these balls to your choice, okay? Like this one, put this on this side. Make it closer to the camera. This is the fun part in here because you have to make sure that it's looking good. I think that should be good enough. I will highlight this ball 6, go to effects and preset, go to blur and sharpen. I will add Gaussian blur. Set the value on the blurriness to 20. Copy it and highlight this ball 5, paste it. Go to layer, create a new solid, click OK. I'll just name it fade in. Press T on your keyboard for the opacity. I will just adjust this layer up to the probably 20 frames. Create a keyframe by hitting this opacity. Move my playhead to 15 frames. Change this to 0. So you can see when we play this one. There you go. Go back to the project panel and drop down this upper and lower text into the timeline. Highlight both of this text and also enable the 3D layers. Then move your playhead forward to 115 frames duration. Press open bracket key to move that layers. Then move forward to the 2 seconds duration. I will drag this upper text above the lower text. Then highlight this lower text and press open bracket key to move that layer. I will highlight both of them. Press P on my keyboard for the position. Move this upper text on top of the image like that and the lower below the image. So let's try to preview it. Now go to layer, create a new camera. I will be using this 50mm camera, click OK. Then go to layer, create a null object. I want this null object a 3D layer. Parent the camera to the null object. Press P on your keyboard for the position. Move your playhead forward to the 3 seconds duration. Create a keyframe by hitting the stopwatch on the position. Then move back your playhead at the beginning of your timeline. Disable first this one so you can see. Move these images out of your canvas. Like that. Then I will highlight these keyframes. Press F9 to ease it. Then go back to layer and I will create a new null object. Then I will parent this null object to the null object 2. Then go back to layer, create again a new null object. Make sure that these null objects are 3D layers. Parent the null object 2 to the null object 3. Press P on your keyboard for position. Move your playhead probably to the 6 seconds duration. Create a keyframe by hitting this stopwatch on the position. And move forward your playhead to the end of your timeline. Move the images out of the canvas. Then I will go to layer and I will create another new null object. I will enable the 3D layer on the null object. Parent the null object 3 to the null object 4. Press P on my keyboard for the position. Move my playhead back to the 2 seconds and 15 frames duration. Create a keyframe by hitting the stopwatch on the position. Move forward your playhead to the 4 seconds duration. And change the Z value here to 433. I will highlight these keyframes. Press F9 to ease it. So let's see and preview it again. So now guys, what we're gonna have to do here is to turn on the motion blur. So now I will go to my project panel and create a new folder. I will name it scene 1. Then I will drag these compositions. Then I will create a new folder and I will name it common comps. Then I will drag this frame on the common comps because I don't tweak it. Open this pre-rendered comps and drag it down to the scene 1 folder. Now I will go and create a new folder and I will name it scene 2. Open the scene 1 folder. I will highlight all these compositions and go to edit, duplicate it. I will drag these duplicated compositions to the scene 2 folder. Delete these compositions because I don't use it for now. I will highlight these compositions. Double click my mouse to open it up. First I will go to the placeholder and go to assets, open it up. Open the photo folder. Drag this image down into the timeline. Then delete this photo. Press this on your keyboard for the scale. Just scale it down. Then go to your frame image. Highlight this placeholder. Press your keyboard Alt and hold it. And replace the placeholder 1 to the placeholder 2. Then open the upper text. Move your playhead forward to see the text. Then highlight this layer. I will only highlight this text that I'm gonna change. So I will type Season of Happiness. Then open the lower text too. Move your playhead forward to see the text. Highlight the layer of the text and double click your mouse to change the text. I'll change this to A Celebration of Joy. I'll just change the font size here to 150. So it's much bigger. Adjust the spacing. Press P on my keyboard for the position, then drag it down. Make sure it's centered horizontally. Then open the media. Press your keyboard Alt and hold it. Change the frame image here to the frame image 2. Move your plate forward in order to see the scene. Change the ball 6 to ball 12. Replace all the balls here to the scene 2 balls. Then one by one rearrange these balls according to your choice. Now go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it main. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second. And the duration, I will change this to 15 seconds. Click OK. Now open the scene 1 folder and drop down this media 1 into the timeline. Close it, open scene 2 and drop down the media 2 into the timeline. Now move forward your playhead to 6 seconds duration. Move the media 2 layer on that duration. Let's see. Now I will go to layer, create a new solid. I will name it BG or background. Make it comp size, click OK. I will drag it down at the bottom. Go to effects and preset, go to color correction, add tint. Change the tint color here to grayish. Pick this color picker and choose this color. Then go to composition, create a new composition. I will name it snowflakes. 3840 by 2160, 30 frames per second, and the duration is 15 seconds. Click OK. Go to layer, create a new solid and make it comp size. Click OK. Go to effects and preset. Go to simulation and choose this CC snowfall. Set some values in here. I only want the flakes to be 1000. Size is 8. Variation speed is 40. The speed is 500. The wind is 180. Variation of the wind is 50. Then the opacity is 100%. The influence, I will change this to 50. Okay. So I will go back now to the main and I will drop these snowflakes down into the timeline just above the BG. Then I will go to Effects and Preset, Blur and Sharpen, Fastbox Blur. Change the iteration to 1. Check the repeat edge pixels and the amount, change this to 2. By the way, if you want to learn how to make these rotating Christmas balls, I have a link on the upper corner of this screen where you can click it so that you can change whatever texture you want, the size of the balls, the speed of the rotation. So it's up to you guys. So now we are done with our tutorial and thank you very much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for those people who have not yet subscribed in my channel. And for those who subscribe, thank you very much. Don't forget to share it to your friends if you would like. And my thoughts for today, guys, is that you learn nothing from life. if you think you're right all the time. Thank you very much guys for watching, and see you on my next video. God bless.